What's up everyone, it's Gabby Trace and welcome back to the channel. So the market's pushing to fresh new all-time highs with the S&P 500, Nasdaq closing green for the second straight day and BTC also reaching new all-time highs. Now let's see if the market can keep up with this momentum. Alts are picking up really nicely. Ethereum and Sol are doing exceptionally well, and right now the CME Fed Watch tool is showing over 92% chance of 25 basis point cuts in September, up from 80% earlier this week. But you guys, before we dive in, of course, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe. If you're new here, welcome, and hit the bell. Make sure you hit the bell so you never miss when I'm live here with you. Good morning, everyone. We have Diamond Eyes here, Lucian. Welcome to everyone that's new here. Now, why are the markets feeling so confident? Well, inflation came in cooler than expected, right? We had the CPI print that was 2.7 year over year, which pretty much isn't perfect, but it's low enough to give the Fed a reason to ease policy, right? And that's not just a stock market story. Rate cut can pretty much ripple across crypto, gold, even real estate, anything you can think of, because cheaper borrowing tends to fuel the risk on taking and investment. Hello, Insider Club is also here. Nice to see you guys. My voice is a bit messed up today, not sure why. But so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if the Fed is going to follow through, because if that happens, right, if the Fed follows through, this could mean an extended rally into the fall, which is pretty much exactly what we're expecting anyway. So what's interesting over here, let's have a look at one interesting person. Well, it's not that. Let me move the screens a little bit. You guys restart the chat and make sure you keep the chat box active as usual. But if you remember Steve Eisman, right? He's like one of the most interesting people. He was the one that called the Big Short back in 2008. So when you look at this guy, wait, you don't even see the picture. When you look at this guy, you would be thinking, okay, he might be short calling one more time, but he's actually stubbornly bullish. He's holding long positions in mega cap techs like, Apple, Alphabet, Meta, Nvidia, which he says that now make up, not he says, but usually these ones make up for half of the total cap of SPX 500, you guys. So basically, what I wanted to say is that he says that the next big trade is not going to be just AI. He's really looking into M&A, which is mergers and acquisitions, and he's basically telling us here in this article that is going to be a lot bigger than AI, because all of these AI need to be powered. So he's looking into companies or advisory firms such as PJT Partners and regional banks like Comerica, pointing into all of these mergers like Union Pacific, Norfolk Southern. So we really need to be looking at what this guy is doing, because he's pretty much predicting a mergers and acquisition boom cycle between the AI and all of these powering companies. So that is going to be interesting as the overall market. In general, we can see over here, let's see what happened to dollar. Dollar's been plunging, right? Dollar has slid while Bitcoin surged into new all-time high over almost 125, not really, but I think 124.5, something like that. And traders are now clearly pricing more rate cuts, right? Even into the next year, traders are planning for pricing for rate cuts. So that's pretty much a classic risk-on behavior where investors are willing to pile into growth stocks, they're willing to pile into small caps and crypto, right? Which is what we're here to find out for. Bottom line, the market is looking good. There is a momentum because of the Fed policy potentially shifting, and even corporate deal makings are lining up for the bulls, in the bulls' favors. But remember, the thing is that sentiment could shift very fast, right? Because if we get some really disappointing earnings, for example, right? Or if we get some bad PCE numbers, or even today we have the PPI, but usually PPI follows CPI. So that's probably not going to be the case. But for now, the attitude is won't stop, can't stop. And the vibe is pretty much dominating and traders are leaning in, which is good. Now, good morning, everyone. We're going to jump into Bitcoin straight up over here, which is currently trading at 121 2,693. Let's have a look. So this morning was quite interesting. Actually, I was up a little bit early, so I managed to catch the beginning of the day today, where I actually placed a short very early on up here at around 123,455. But that was in my eyes, it was a bit premature, because I usually look for more confirmation. We need to extend our range over here, so that's what we're doing right now. A bit premature in my opinion, so I actually closed it waiting for confirmation, because I was like, okay, it's clearly going to be a short, but we need to follow the rules as per every single day. And today the price just decided to drop substantially without pretty much giving a second entry, right? Because the idea was over here with the true open day, that price was going to retrace a little bit. It was way overextended. Hello, Peter. And because of that, I had my bias, but then I was like, I don't want to follow the rules and like put everyone in a position where, you know, I show that I'm not following my rules. So that's not the case, because over here, essentially the confirmation for short on Bitcoin came all the way down here, right? So that's at around 122.500. So the thing is, right, there needs to be some sort of retrace over here if that confirmation for short is true. And if it's true, that short could potentially extend at around the 120k level down here. We might even tap into levels such as the true month open or the true week open, right? So this is going to be very interesting if it happens. And also, in fact, it's not going to invalidate any bullish momentum, because the bullish momentum is going to be invalidated only if price closes below all the way down here. If we get a close below all the way down here, this fractal, like 118,930, right? So the bullish momentum is still there up until we start getting body closes below that. Potentially it's not going to be very, very nice. But as you can see, the current target, I don't know if you can see it pretty well according to our strategy, it is this high over here. Earlier today, we didn't even have a target because price was in price discovery. But with this drop, we can see that price is weakening down, and now this is the target, right? We're not hoping for anything above that for now, because that would be just speculating, just like everything. So yeah, technically this is what we're looking at right now for Bitcoin. I'm going to be hoping for a retrace on a 4-hour. There is no confirmation on the 4-hour for short, but there is confirmation on the 1-hour for some sort of short that could get us down to the 120k area, right? So that would be nice. And even the retrace couldn't be that deep. In fact, you guys, the retrace could even go to like this area over here around 122,600. And then it could drop again, and it could be also as deep as the first leg here, extension, and also up to the true day open over here. So this is what we need to be looking out for in terms of Bitcoin. When you look at Bitcoin and Ethereum, right, this morning there was not confirmation, but like a bias, in my opinion, then both of them, good morning, Berto, that both of them are going to exhaust. Why? Well, because we were talking about Ethereum yesterday, and we said that it's going to be very interesting what price does around this level, because on a higher time frame, this is a level of resistance, right? So it's very possible that we were going to see some sort of rejection over here, which we are currently right now. So at the beginning of the day, it wasn't really that clear of a rejection, because we had another tap over here into the zone. Bitcoin started dropping even with this candle over here, but as you can see, Ethereum pushed a little higher, which automatically means that Ethereum is going to be the stronger asset within this drop today if it happens. Yes, you guys, make sure you hit the like button. I haven't checked, but I'm going to check right now how many likes we have, because oops, what is this? Hold on, let me see. No, not another Bitcoin chart. Here we are. That's the video. Let me do a check on how many likes we have over here. I bet that's going to restart one more time. Maybe not. We have 44 people watching and only 24 likes, you guys. We can push that very, very much. And by the way, I'm really happy because yesterday, you guys, we reached 2,000 followers. And that's been a super big grind for us for the past 6 months, just streaming every single day and bringing you price analysis over here. And we finally reached our 2K. So you guys, make sure you come in the description box and check all the promotions that I have here for you. With Bluffin and also everything else. You can join the Discord as well, which we have lots of enthusiastic traders over there giving setups every single day. Thank you, Mark Bass. So yeah, that's it pretty much. We're with Ethereum right now at a rejection point. So it's very important to see whether we're going to get a confirmation over here. But on the 4-hour time frame for Ethereum, what am I looking at? Well, approximately this area around here. So we're looking at 4,667 on the 4-hour time frame. So if we start getting any body closes below that area, that is going to potentially tell us that price needs to retrace a little bit more. And to be fair, for Ethereum, price has quite a substantial not the market session. Let's do over here. So yeah, we have quite a this whole area over here, right? This whole area is eligible area for price to retrace without even doing anything to the bullish bias overall to Ethereum, right? So you know, this retracement over here is going to be quite possible if anything like that happens. In fact, let's evaluate. Let's have a look if we have the right tools over here. Do we have the right tools? Yeah, potentially. So yeah, it's pretty normal if price drops to the -2 levels over here with the standard deviation. So that would mean also that we might come down and fill this fair value gap over here, which is going to be actually a very good setup if that happens. So to be honest, I'm all about a pullback right now, because if that happens, that would mean for me that this is going to be a very nice long position over here on ETH, potentially bringing the stop loss below the true week open somewhere. I think that would be safe. And then reaching for the 0.7 is that 0. No, that's actually Ethereum reaching new all-time highs. So yeah, let's say if that happens, if we jump, I'm probably going to be aiming for price to get to new all-time highs already. But yeah, down here, and if you want a more extreme entry, is going to be down here, to be more precise for Ethereum, I think. But that's only in a case scenario when price starts to drop a little bit to the downside, if that happens today. But again, the confirmation for that is going to come only around 4,662 Ethereum, right? Any body closes below that are going to be a strong indication that the pullback is going to happen, from which we can happily look for some longs, right? I think it would be great. Happy new all-time high, yes. Solana is doing quite amazing. To be fair, over here, we've smashed through the area. Now, this 12-hour candle, it's kind of very important that it closes above this yellow zone, and ideally above the sell zone as well. But let's not forget, we are in a sell zone for Solana. We are in a pullback area for Ethereum. So, right, all of these things we need to be paying close attention to. Because that could be a massive manipulation over here. But the thing is, right, the way Bitcoin is looking right now, so we clearly got an extension over here, right? Let me show you what I mean. So over here, when we started essentially the true month, right, with this move, essentially we had a bit of a retrace over here, but that's continuation. So when you tend to see these kind of moves, yes, we got our new all-time high, that's amazing. But when you see those kind of extensions, continuations, then for the rest of the month, what you would be expecting is some sort of range formation, right? You would expect some sort of range formation, and then what you would further expect is for price to manipulate either direction, right? You wouldn't know which direction really, but let's assume it's going to manipulate to the upside. That means that we'll be looking for some sort of a short for the rest of the month, right? And if it happens so that we start ranging and then price manipulates heavily to the downside, it's going to be very clear on the charts. And obviously I'm here with you live all the time, so I'll show you when that happens. But basically, if it happens, right, if we range and we exit the range to the downside, that will be a clear long signal one more time. So this is the kind of things that I'm looking out for now for Bitcoin specifically. Like I said, Ethereum is very simple at this point. It is super duper bullish. Again, it is very important how we react in this area, because if we get any confirmations and the 4-hour time frame, it's quite a good time frame for me to get a confirmation short over here. So like I said, if we get any body closes because below 4,662, 4,663, that is going to be for me a clear sign that we need to exhaust a little bit to the downside. Diamond Eyes, 10K subscribers loading. Yes, you guys, I really hope so. I really hope so. But yeah, with the beginning of the month, right? With the beginning of the month, let me try and pull this thing for you here. Oh my God, my voice. With the beginning of the month, here it is. With the beginning of the month, I've managed to organize this promotion for you guys over here. So if you're looking to participate in the market and you incur losses, no, that's actually the old one. Where's my new one? Hold on. That's actually the old promotion that I have here. Anyway, we're gonna look at it in a little bit. But yeah, for Solana, are we clear as well, you guys? Before we do anything, I want to make sure that we're clear on Solana as well. Let's delete these things because we don't need that anymore. But we're pretty much into a sell area right now. It's really good that we managed to break through the yellow zone over here, which was massive resistance for Solana. So honestly, you guys, Solana is looking great. Like, I don't have much to tell you about Sol, because the all-time high is liquidity over here, right? $295.4 for Solana is liquidity. And if we break this zone, I think, and the sell zone over here right now, meaning we don't get any pullbacks in this area, that would pretty much mean a straight up, right? Straight up movement for Solana, potentially until $233, where we might get a bit of an exhaustion or some sort of pullback, but it's going to be, right, it's going to be good if we get the pullback, right? Because then we might find entries to chase the new all-time high, which is pretty much coded right now because we can see the liquidity over here. And again, that liquidity you can only find out with my indicators, which you can find in the description box, you guys. A lot of people that are live here with us, they're using the indicators on a daily basis and they find them extremely useful. And I've also made a video on YouTube for you guys on how you can use these indicators, right? And they're suitable for all kinds of strategies, and they're super cheap and very user-friendly. I can't recommend it more. Shall we look at Bitcoin dominance real quick over here? Still on the way low. Yeah, for me, this is probably going to continue down to grab the liquidity at 55. So no news here. ETH BTC. Sorry, I need the daily here. ETH BTC is charging up, and it needs to continue charging up because we still have to take the liquidity that we marked together last week, this week, which is up here. So, you know, there is still lots of space for that to get to that point, which is 3.7, almost 4 to 8%, 8.8% on ETH BTC. So for now, Ethereum is going to be the one charging forward. And you know that that's good because that means that the alts are going to pump as well. ADA has been doing quite well. ADA did already 10% on the day, which is quite contrast to the rest of the altcoins, which probably means that something happened fundamentally, but I'm not aware of it. To be fair, the only thing I'm aware of is the chart, and that right now, yes, we pulled into higher highs or whatever, but we are indeed into a sell zone right now here for ADA. Right, so that's on a daily time frame. If we look here on the 4-hour time frame, we won't have any short confirmations using the 4-hour time frame, so that potentially means that price is very bullish. And over here for short-term pullbacks, confirmation pretty much needs to happen within this very hour that we're talking about it right now. Yes, thank you guys. Make sure you like the video. And by the way, when we finish, make sure you drop a comment below as well, because it really helps with the video getting out there to more people. And that means a lot to us, of course. So yeah, basically what I wanted to show you, let's see if I can get it now. Yes, here it is. So this is what I wanted to tell you guys. That's the current promotion that we have with Bluffin. So if you trade under my link and you lose $100, Bluffin are going to refund it straight back into your account. So you would be trading Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana. And if you incur loss that's $100 or more, you will get $100 straight funded in your account. So for that, you can find the link below in the description box on how you can join. And by the way, you can use that link to get VIP access in the Discord group, which you can find the link also in the description box for that, you guys. So this is what we've managed to pull in for you in terms of promotions over here. But yeah, ADA is quite bullish at the moment. On, like I said, the 1-hour time frame is probably going to determine whether we're going to see a little bit of a pullback here. But then, of course, we'll determine that with within the rest of the market. So let's pull here some indicators and see what we have. Yeah, it's looking good. To be fair, it's looking quite good. So if we get any pullbacks, probably down until this candle, that would be one area that I'll be looking out for over here. For ADA, this in combination with some support down here again on the 4-hour time frame, which is really good. So that's not too bad to look around this area. But yeah, it is indeed in a sell zone. So yeah, very careful. Oh, actually, look at that. It's actually fine because we do have liquidity over here. We do have liquidity for ADA. So yeah, don't mind that. So if we get any pullbacks, they're going to be quite shallow. And then ADA is probably going to continue to 1.17, which is really good. Thank you. Let's look at Say real quick. Say, where are you? Can you bring us to Say, please? Trading View. Say. Okay, I guess I have to like re-add it, whatever. Okay, 4-hour time frame looking fine for now. No concerns on the 4-hour time frame. First support over here on the 4-hour time frame is 0.3364, so that's good. Let's look at the 12-hour overall. Yeah, I mean, we haven't really even reached the daily resistance on Say over here, so I'd consider here any pullback to be a nice buying opportunity over here. So let's have a look. That's the daily. So if you're looking for like a deeper retracement, I guess the daily would be an area to look out for. And you can look out for also the 4-hour support down here, which is essentially also a retest of the 0.236 area. So it might as well just hold, and you'll be looking to trade it up until the daily resistance at the very minimum, right? In terms of liquidity, I don't see much on the weekly. But yeah, considering that price breaks 0.236 and start breaking resistances over here, your first target then it should be around the 0.62 over here, right? And then potential retrace for that, and you'll be looking for 0.92 as well if the bull run continues and everything goes well. But of course, the 0.5 is always going to be, some sort of a take profit area, which is not too bad because from here to the 0.5 we have 80%. But in general, as we're reading the chart, with this bull run, we should at least get 0.92 on say over here. Yes, you guys. What's my opinion on WUSDT? What was that even? I need to look at perps for that. Hold on one sec. Yeah, my opinion on that is not very good. So yeah, this is not something that I'm very excited about, especially if it's a chart that looks like that. If you've been watching me for a while, you'd understand probably that I try to stay away from charts that are bearish like that, and I wouldn't hold my breath on this one, to be honest, because it's just very bearish, right? The structure is extremely bearish, and essentially you haven't even done anything here yet, like of interest. It hasn't showed pretty much nothing in terms of life. Can you look at Bitcoin? What? The meme? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not right now, but we're looking into that for you guys in the near future. Mix now. What am I looking at? Is that something new? Not too much price data. Seems that it can definitely make new lows over here. So I mean, you're probably getting the confirmation short right now as we speak. So these 12 hours over here, 4-hour time frame already confirmed a short down here. So I would be very careful with this, to be fair, because 4 hours already confirmed. 12-hour is just about to confirm right now that this is going short. Currently is trading below area, so if it closes around the same area, I'd consider that, even if it gets a pullback for a potential short continuation over here. So yeah. Yeah. Op, yeah, Mauro, let's do op. Hold on one sec. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Oof. Yeah, it's holding for dear life, if you ask me. So, essentially, it's not the worst. It's not the worst, but yeah, daily time frame, you could potentially get some returns of that. Was that Optimism? Yes, I think it was. So potentially 2.8, but you're just about to break your first zones right now over here. So as you can see, right, this is the area of resistance over here on op. Very clear, 0.856. So price broke and is retracing right now. So for this, you have to start reassessing the lower time frame. It's good that on the 12-hour you have liquidity. So it's pretty much saying that once it breaks, it's gonna go, which is good, right? This liquidity over here. So it wants 0.9545. That's what it wants. So in case of any retracement, let's have a look for our time frame here. If we can get anything over here, take out the indicators to see. Yeah, I think this whole area over here is going to be quite nice to look into in case of like a deeper pullback. You'll be looking at this buy zone, but that's only in a case of like a deeper pullback, in my opinion. So let's mark it over here so it's clean. But you're looking at this buy zone, so potentially even above it, right around 0.771, 0.7066, something like that. I'll be looking at this with more optimism. But right now it's pulling back, right now it's pulling back. So let's see if this is true. Yeah, if this is true, look at that. The 0.2 aligns quite perfectly over here with you know, with the buy zone and with the support here. So these are the levels. Make a screenshot if you want. That's in case of a deeper pullback, right? In case we don't get a deeper pullback, that means we'll probably go back into the 0.1 minus 1 over here. So that would be 0.7670 within that area. I think that would be another perfect area over here to look, especially with the fair value gap over here, and in a buy zone, it's a very good area. So that's in a case of a shallow pullback, and then in a case of a bigger pullback, you're looking into this areas over here for optimism. And I think I'm gonna add that to my list because it's worth it, right? It's gonna be worth it considering that the liquidation levels on a higher time frame are quite good over here, right? Let's get rid of that since we marked the levels already. So if we catch that long from, like, let's say the shallow retracement, that's pretty much 260%. It's not bad at all, you guys. Make sure you like the video, and if you're new here, make sure to subscribe as well. Just saying that because I can see our viewer count is getting bigger. But again, for anyone that's watching right now, optimism $2.8 for this cycle, I think is something that I'll be looking out for sure. But yeah, we need to break some areas, which we're not doing right now. We did have a body close over here, but if you notice, actually, right, let's focus on this over here because that's liquidity. But whatever, if you focus on this liquidity level, so we had a body close above the resistance, right? Because this resistance is from back in the days. Sorry, this resistance is actually from April this year. So we closed above it, right? We closed above it, and then we proceed to make a lower low over here. So that's why this area is really important, right? That's why this area is really important, and we need to break from it officially so we can call it a day. But because price was expected to run nicely over here, it did leave this high as liquidity on a 12-hour time frame, which is really good. So that means that we have our first target. But price rejecting over here is not a very good sign. That means that we might get a pullback, and like we said, it might be a shallow one, or it might be a little bit deeper where you're looking at this level. And then in case it goes completely south, you're looking at this level down here, 0.57. But I don't think it's gonna be that bad. All right, let's actually keep that in just in case. Yes. Yeah. Make sure you take notes, you guys. Always when I'm live here with you, that's you know, a good idea, because the levels that I give out, they mostly play out, and you know, a lot of you guys are like not used to that kind of stuff. More of you are like looking for signals and stuff like that, which I'm trying to stay away from because it's not good. You need to be learning to do things on your own. So yeah, but I give you the levels, and that should be good enough over here. Hello, Darcy. But yeah, that's pretty much what we have over here. So we said Solana, all-time high liquidity, which are, yeah, signals are BS, I agree. Over here, $300, it's probably going to be the next target. A little bit of resistance at 235. If we manage to pull back over here, it's going to be our probably last chance to be part of this rally, right? Let's have a look at how ETH is doing. ETH is still keeping strong. On a 4-hour time frame, we do have the target still a bit higher, but still within our zone. So that would mean that once we smash this target at 4,811, we're still going to be in a zone of a potential retrace. So we need to be watching for that very, very carefully. Bitcoin is already retracing over here. Earlier in Discord, we said that this is potential area for price to retrace for potential continuation down. So we need to be watching out for that. But again, you guys, thank you so much for being here. And yeah, this is our last live stream for this week. And my hair is a bit messy today. But yeah, no, Chiefy, you're late. Bro, you're late. Okay, anyway, you can go back and watch the live stream because we said some really important things. And then again, if you're new here, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you want to join Discord, in the description box, you can find the link to do so. Okay, I'll see you guys soon, all right? Have fun today.